Hi there guys, good evening, or good morning or good day or whatever time it is with you. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers. Those of you who took the time to watch my first Homebrew Wednesday back at the back end of last year, thank you very much. And apologies to everybody who may have been expecting more content from me. I've really been meaning to create and upload some more content in the intervening weeks, but life gets in the way of these things, and I found it difficult. Anyway, I have now managed to do some work and some more brewing over the last few months, which I've really enjoyed. To give you an update, I have now gone all grain. I've got all of the equipment that I need to do my own full mash, to boil a full volume of beer up to, well, my pot is actually 70 litres, which is much bigger than my mash tun can take, but I guess I was planning for the future. And I've also got into kegging in the last few weeks as well. I've bought myself a gas bottle full of CO2 and all of the equipment, and a couple of Cornelius kegs, which I'm learning how to use at the moment, which is great. So I do have a few subjects that I'd like to talk about. However, I'm going to save those for another week, I think. So for this week, I thought I would show some footage from my last brew day, which was my third all grain batch. It was my second attempt at a Sierra Nevada Pale Ale clone beer. So recipe that I'd found online. I'd actually brewed this beer a week or two before my first Homebrew Wednesday back in December last year. And if you go back and watch that video, you will see that I actually managed to get a stuck fermentation because of some cold temperatures in the primary fermentation phase of that beer. And although I got it back going again by making a starter of some harvested yeast that I had in the fridge and repitching that, I really wasn't happy with the final result. I bottled the whole batch and it's since been drunk, so it wasn't that bad. But it wasn't really a beer that I was very proud of, and I wanted to give it another go. So following my transition to all grain, this was one of the ones that I really wanted to do to try and make a good job of it. And yeah, took some footage on the brew day. So here it is. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in about 15 minutes. So it's all grain brew day number 3 for me. I'm planning on doing a Sierra Nevada clone, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale clone tonight. So I've got my work cut out because the kitchen is still a mess, and so is the dining room from dinner. But I've got my brew sheet printed out from Beersmith. I've got my ingredients ready to go. So first job is to warm 5 litres of water to warm up my mash tun. So I'm going to get on with that now, and we'll get back to you shortly. Right, we're doing better now. I've got the actually I'm about to get the dishwasher on when I get that cutlery in. I've got water heating up to heat the mash tun. I've just been given my enormous boil pot a bit of a clean with the work chiller in there. I'm just decanting that water into the mash tun just to make sure everything's nicely cleaned, and I'll rinse all that out obviously before anything else. Got a brand new fermenter there, which I'm going to fill with Star San in just a minute. Gas bottle over there, which I'll be taking out to the porch where I'm doing my boil. And yeah, we're all coming along. So I've got to get these leftovers on there, put away in the fridge, give the sides a bit of a wipe, give the table a wipe in the dining room, and then we'll be on properly. So we're ready to start now. Here we go, this is the porch. So we've got wood stacked up there. Outside, actually you can see some stars. There's the moon, look. But not much else. It is a beautiful night actually. Anyway, time. Turn this on. There we go. Nice burner there. So what we're putting on it? This. Right, that is our strike water. About 14 litres. We're going to take it up to about 74. If we come through, shut that in there. And back in the kitchen. On here we've got 5 litres, which is just off the boil. There you go, you can see it's about to go again, and that's going to go in the mash tun to heat it up. Okay, so mash tun is warming. Strike water's heating out in the porch. We've got prepared my star sand now, and there's a few bits and pieces in there which I'll just move out of the way. I thought I'd go through ingredients just in case anyone else wants to have a go. Got 4.5 kilos of Maris Otter pale malt, some specialty grains in here. I've got 260 grams of light crystal malt, which has got an ERM, is that right? Yeah, colour of 100. Anyway, yeah, an ERM, colour of 100, and 100 grams of carapils as well. In terms of hops, well, we've got some Magnum here for bittering. We've got, what's that? This one, Pearl, which is our addition halfway through, and then heaps of delicious, lovely cascades for aroma and flame out, and I'm using good old US-05 to ferment this batch. I'll probably also throw in some Irish moss with 15 minutes to go. So, yeah, just to give you amounts, I'm doing 14 grams of Magnum at 60 minutes, 14 grams of Pearl at 30 minutes, 28 grams of Cascade at 15 minutes, I think, and 56 grams of Cascade at flame out. So, lots of hops. Okay, so strike water's heated up and dumped into the mash tun, and as you can see, I'm splashing stuff everywhere. Getting this mixed in, breaking up the numerous dough balls. So we're shooting for a strike temperature of about, let's say 67. Should be 66 1/3, but I know we're going to lose some during the hour. So if we get to 67 and we end at, I don't know, 65, 66, then I will be happy. Let's get those bits off the corner. Sorry, I'm waving you around all over the place. So, right, I'm just going to put this down while I check for some dough balls, and we'll do a temperature check. Right, that took ages actually. Loads and loads of dough balls for some reason, so obviously my method was not brilliant there. So we'll do a temperature check. Just coming up to temp. 65, 66, 66.3, 0.4, come on, 0.5, 0.6. Well, I mean, my target was 67. There's some day balls in there. What I'm going to do is add a little bit of hot water from the kettle and just work a bit more to break up most dough balls, and then.
So, got to be really quiet now because it's getting late. Let me check what time it is. Yeah, so it's 20 past 10. The mash is done. We're just collecting our first runnings. Sparge water is ready on the hob. So for some reason this is draining really slowly. I don't know if I've compacted the grain bed or what, but it's going much slower than normal. Well, much slower than my other patches that I've done on this setup. I did an iodine test just to make sure that we had no starches left, and that was all good. We got a nice clear work. Lost barely a degree during the mash, so that was all good. So yeah, I'm just keen now to get this sparge in. I'm going to batch sparge. I'm not going to not fly sparging. Get a batch sparge done. Collect all of my work. Get the boil going, and the used grains will be food for the chickens tomorrow, which they seem to really like. So yeah, we're progressing, but a bit later than I wanted. So we're doing our second runnings now. So we're looking here. Yeah, nearly done. It is 20 to 11. I haven't even started to boil yet. Well, if I get to bed before 1 a.m, I'll be happy. So here we are. It's about 20 to 11. Still got the moon. Some birds making some noise. It's definitely dark, except we've got the boil. Well, we haven't got the boil yet. Hopefully we'll have the boil soon. I think perhaps, boys, I started this one a bit late. And girls. Oh well, we've got to run it through, and then we'll see what time we get to bed. Okay, it's about 20 past 11. We've just hit a boil. I've just put the bittering hops in. It's going to be 1 a.m. by the time I pitch the yeast, I think. And I'm up at 6. Oh well. Right, I'm going to go inside. I've got half an hour until the next hop edition. I'll sit by the fire, I think. So, it's now 25 to 1. The work chiller's in. All hops went in, no problem. Boil went, yeah, no worries, as planned. Just trying to get things down, temperature as fast as I can. Then the plan is to aerate by coming out of there, into there, from there, and doing that a few times. And then I'm going to pitch the yeast, get a lid on it, go to bed because I'm knackered. Right, it's the next morning. It is early. I've got a sink full of hops, so I need to clean that out, otherwise I'm going to get told off. I've got a brew kettle full of hops as well, and a mash tun full of grain. And I've got a beer upstairs which has not started fermenting yet, but it is sat. What are we looking at? About 1060. So, okay, it's about 24 hours later. We're getting to about 8 p.m, just after 8. And it's been in the fermenter since last night, which is just tucked away down there. The bubbling you can hear is this one, which is a Vienna lager, which has been on there for about a week. And it's difficult to see. In fact, it's impossible to see. Let me just get a light. So, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, we don't really have airlock activity, which I was a bit disappointed by, because I was expecting it to be going like Billy-O by now. So we had a look, and actually, when you feel this is quite a flimsy lid on this fermenter, you see it moves quite easily there, and it's actually, you can feel the pressure underneath it. It's bulging. So I think I've got a leak, and when I checked it earlier on, as you can see, there's clearly plenty of yeast activity going on in there, so I'm sure it's fermenting. I'm trying my best just to get this lid down, but yeah, we appear to have a leak of some sort, and I believe it to be around the edge, because there is actually a little bit of water around this bung, and there's no bubbles coming up from anywhere around it, so I don't think it's there. I think it's star sand, actually, not water, just that's leaked out of the airlock when I pushed the lid down. It's on a heat pad, you might have noticed. I'm modulating that heat pad using one of these plugs, which you can set to come off on and off sort of every 15 minutes. And I've got it on a quarter of an hour every 45 minutes, if you like. So it's on once in every 3 notches. And I know that will regulate the temperature to around 20, I think, 22 possibly. I can feel it. It is you know, you can feel a little bit of warmth off it, perhaps. Maybe not, maybe that's just the ambient, but anyway. I'm using that to keep it at a decent temperature, because it does get cold here at night still. But yeah, I'm not very happy with this fermenter, so we'll have to see what happens. I'm pleased, obviously, that we've got some yeast activity going on. There's lots of fermenting going. Maybe as fermentation increases, it will start to push air through the airlock, you know, with a bit more pressure. I don't know, but we shall see. Has that ever happened to anyone else, or, you know, have you got any recommendations? Obviously, leave a comment.
Okay, guys. Hopefully you managed to sit through all of that, and it wasn't too boring. Successful brew day for me. To give you an update on the progress, it fermented pretty well. I managed to keep the temperature within quite a tight range of the specified limits that the yeast manufacturer gives. I've been fairly regularly doing gravity tests just to check the progress, given that there was no airlock activity to monitor. And the last one I did was last night, and that's, let's see, about 10-11 days after the brew day. We were down to about 10-12, 10-13, something like that. So got reasonable attenuation. So I'm going to leave it in the primary for a few more days, because I'm not going to be at home until the weekend again, so no time to deal with anything with it until then. And I think I'll probably cold crash it and get it in, do a few bottles to give away to a few friends, and then get it into a keg, get the remainder into a keg, and get it carved and conditioned in that. And hopefully I'll be able to give you an update in a future video on the result. Anyway, Hope you enjoyed the footage again. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, guys. I don't know if I'll speak to you next week, but hopefully I'll speak to you sooner than was the last gap between videos. Cheers, guys. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Have a good one.